Hi everyone, I'm Tracy, UPenn Unni. So today I have one of your submissions that you guys have been submitting through the link. And I just thought that this story that I have today is something that you guys would also be very interested in knowing. So today I have a rising ninth grader and you're just right on time to be asking for consulting. You have 4.0 GPA, which is excellent, although as an 8th grader, these won't be actually in your college applications. So I don't think academic-wise you'll have a big of a problem. And I do see that your dream school is UPenn. UPenn. So I'm really glad. You've been taking quite a number of rigorous classes as an 8th grade student. But one thing to remember here is that you don't want to overload your APs. So it's quality over quantity. You want to maximize your APs only to the extent that you can handle the rigor, which means that having stronger GPA is more important than the number of APs. You said that your intended major here is business, accounting, or finance. Accounting and finance could be in the similar sector, and business could be in the similar sectors, but these three could be actually pretty different. And if you're aiming for UPenn, especially business, Wharton School, as you know, is very competitive, and it's number one for business worldwide. And so this is a super competitive college that you're aiming for, plus a super competitive major, which is business. Because a lot of Asian male students really want business. And this is a very typical situation. One of the reasons why they choose business is just because it's a popular major, although they are not really sure why they want that major specifically. So we want to choose your major strategically first. If you want a specific name brand of a college, then we might have to go for the less competitive majors. But then if it's the other way around, if you want a specific major, you might want to lower down the college ranking a little bit. But we have both right now. We have UPenn Business, which is both competitive, right? So we do want to think about this very strategically. And how we do this is by finding out what your passion and vision is actually. So brand equals passion and vision. And this passion is a social issue that you want to solve. So that solution to that problem is actually called the vision. And that vision actually will be what you will do for your EC. So in college applications, what we want to do in consulting is that we want to find a definite brand of you that we can present to the admission officers, specifically saying how unique of a person you are. And if you have that passion and vision set for yourself, we just want to use your major as a tool that can help you study. And when we try to choose the major, we want to go for the broad, traditional majors first. So all of your other ECs could be packed into this broad major if we start out. Instead of going for like a more specific major, there are less competitive alternatives that you can also consider while choosing your major. So in terms of business, while we haven't gone through your passion and vision just yet, there are other majors such as global studies, or it could be sociology, because it's about the society that we are in. Well, if we're trying to go for a less competitive alternative, that major is still in the realm of the competitive major that you were first aiming for. So it's not a completely different field of study. So actually, I was very impressed to see your vision, and you're interested in basically how politics and international relations impact the global economy. You want to reduce wealth inequality and maybe even create policies in the future to help close that gap. And you also said you want to give the financial advice that would help improve situations for the poor people. It's very impressive that you actually addressed the gap in society as an 8th grade student. So to make this vision a little bit more compelling, you do want to still research more specifically into these issues. If it really is a problem, where do you see the polarization of wealth in society? Is it the access to quality education, or do you see that in grocery stores? Where is that wealth evident in your community that you felt that way? Also, when you talk about the financial issues, Is it the lack of financial education in terms of the education gap? Or is it just that from the start, they just don't have that sufficient resources? Understanding these real causes behind the problems that you found will really help you find a more specific area. When you get to find out that specific gap that you want to fill, then that could move on to your major choice. So you're already ahead of the game by being curious of what kind of ECs will actually impact your application as an 8th grade student. So there are only 10 slots on the Common Application, and you don't need to fill in all of the 10 slots, although it will be meaningful if you have each of the meaningful activities for each slot. But it doesn't mean that you're just going to rack up any activities that's not even related to your major. So in order for all of these slots to be meaningful, there's a good rule of thumb. So half of them you want to make them major related, and the half of them could be non-major related. Most of all of your applications will be throughout 9th through 11th grade. In these 3 years, we want to show major-related activities in the first half, and then you can still do some other things that you also enjoy doing for the other half. In terms of ECs, there are 3 most important factors. Number 1 is leadership, 2nd, major-related, and 3rd is continuity. And what this means is that these 3 are actually all kind of intertwined in terms of the importance. So since you asked me what ECs actually help me stand out, the short answer to this question is you want to make strong vision-aligned ECs. When admission officers actually look at your application, it only takes about less than 10 minutes. And you want to really show that brand to the admission officers right away when they open up your application. And how we do that is you want to have a very strong brand of yourself. And colleges like students who just don't say, oh, I want to solve this and that problem in the future. If you think that is a problem now, what can you do as a high school student to help solve that problem right now? Which will be your ECs? First thing, the easiest thing to do is start or join clubs, right? I really recommend you to find your passion and vision if you can before even you go up to 9th grade, so then you can really look out for the clubs that you're really interested in and just join the club. And if you start out from grade 9 up to senior year, and if you continue that, that will show your authenticity and how much you're really interested in that field. If you join a finance club, let's say, you might want to, host weekly money talks or about budgeting challenges. If you're very aware of some of the financial aspects of how maybe teenagers can save their money or something, so you could open up a workshop at school. That's going to help you solve the problem that you are interested in. And you keep doing that from grade 9 up to college applications. That will really show that you are really genuine in that problem. You're playing tennis and golf as a hobby, and you're wondering if you really need to do more of the sports in order to flash out in your college applications. No. These sports teams will only make you stand out if you actually do something very conspicuous, like winning an award, taking on a big leadership role. You don't need to be a varsity sports player to get into a top college. And you always want to think about if you can continue on with that sports up until junior or senior year when you get to apply for college, because being continuous is one of the main points that you want to make here. If you can't continue with that sport for a long time throughout your high school years, you just do golf for a semester and then you switch on to like swimming and then you go for tennis, it won't have that continuity. So if you want to do it for fun, especially in grade 9 when it's time to explore, go for it. But if you're just trying to do that for college, and if it's going to affect your academics, then I wouldn't recommend you to continue that. So bottom line, follow what feels real to you. So whether it's sports or music or job that you were talking about, colleges notice your genuine passion and the consistent effort. And you just want to make your own story out of it. If you're also one of the students that are confused about what to do or have no idea, or simply if you just have any questions about your current situation, but you can submit your own story through the link below, and I will try to get back to you through another video as much as I can. All right, so that's it for today's story, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!